They both go off the road. Norris moves ahead, but he did so with all four wheels off the road. And the contentious debate of position between the top two drivers in the World Championship continues from Austin to Mexico City. The top two drivers in the Formula One World Championship, Max Verstappen, the leader by 54 points, and Lando Norris trying to overturn the largest points deficit in the entire history of the World Championship, started in 1950. That is where we are starting the Grand Prix today. And the US Grand Prix is underway. Max Verstappen's going to give himself an opportunity into turn number one, but Lando Norris is jumping across. There's the late lunge that Max Verstappen was looking for, but he sends Lando Norris wide, and through goes the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. First and second battling each other, and they open the door for the driver in the scarlet car. He roars through, up 3 places to take the lead of this one. Lando Norris got a decent launch, but we wondered whether Max Verstappen was going to make that lunge. Come what may, here was the answer.
I mean, you never really have to wonder with Max, do you? He's going for it, but it was that strong start from Leclerc that got him on the inside of Carlos going into turn one.
And Lando, we've reported the incident in turn one. Any thoughts from your side?
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly pushed me out. He had no intent to make the corner. Even he ran off the track, so I just had to avoid crashing into him, or him crashing into me, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much what we expected prior to the race.
Yeah, the thing is, he overtook me by going in so hard that he went off the track, same as Budapest, just identical.
Lando Norris has a big opportunity here. He's currently losing points to Max Verstappen in the championship, looking to change all of that. The top two contenders for the championship of the world onto the back straight at Kota, looking for the move. The British driver trying to go past. How defensive will Max Verstappen go? How defensive can Max Verstappen go as we go into the braking zone of turn number 2? Norris trying to go around the outside. Is the room? Look now, not from turn 12, but to turn 15. Is there a moment for the McLaren to use the traction, trying the long way round? There will be no route through, but the up and under might produce itself. This is going to be so fast, side by side at speed. Verstappen's just got enough for the moment. Norris not able to force Verstappen off the racing line. He's still ahead, and this battle continues.
Okay, 0.55. Last lap it was 4.5.
How close can the McLaren man get on the brakes when it matters? When the World Championship is up for grabs here, is there an opportunity this time? No. Is there a chance to force him off the racing line? Slightly deep for Verstappen, a little bit more speed through that corner for Lando Norris, but another opportunity goes by. Can he dive to the inside to try and get that opportunistic move at 15? Not that time. Good lap for Max Verstappen. And every lap he can make Norris run in the dirty air will be damaging his tyres.
And 0.3.
Norris goes again.
Lining him up again. He is oh so close. Big defensive move from Verstappen into 1. Is this going to allow Norris to get the drive off? Very hard to get it done into 3, lighting up the rear tires, leaving some skid marks.
It's on the edge. We aren't into the full brinkmanship yet.
And 0.4.
Overtake still available.
Here we go. This is it for Lando Norris. It's a wide line that gives initial momentum for Max Verstappen, but he is gaining and gaining and gaining. How brave can he be in the braking zone of turn 12? This is the best opportunity he's had since lap number 1 to take the place. He puts the car on the outside line, tries to duck back through. It's not done yet. Verstappen knew it, held on to the inside line, and now off the racing line that he wants to be. There's an opportunity. The two contenders again, separated by hardly anything. Traction race could favour the McLaren. Still, it's side by side or very close to it, but still, it's Verstappen ahead with 5 laps to go in the US Grand Prix.
0.4. And 5 laps remaining, Max.
10 out of 10 on execution. He's not made a mistake, not one wheel wrong to give Lando the opportunity to make that move. Lando doing everything he can, but Max doing everything he needs to. Does Lando have a shot here into 1? Defense for Max, blocking a little bit.
Big defense from Max Verstappen, and he knows that he's having to use more of the tyre than he wants to, more of the road than he wants to.
And 0.4.
Norris is close once again.
Closer by a long shot. That was a great run off of 11. It's so tempting as a driver to get to the throttle too soon, light up the rear tires, but he's got it now.
Max Verstappen on the defensive, Lando Norris on the attack, Lando Norris going through on the brakes, or can Verstappen hang on to it? He keeps his foot in, they both go off the road. Norris moves ahead for the first time since lap number 1, but he did so with all 4 wheels off the road. That one surely will not count. He will surely have to give the place back.
Is the argument that Max forced him off the road though?
Overtook me outside the track. He needs to give it back.
Very matter of fact from Verstappen. I'm sure Lando's going to say, hey, he forced me off the track. It'll be interesting to see which way the FIA looks at this and the stewards want to address it.
I think goes ahead at the apex. Let me know if you think otherwise.
We think you were ahead at apex.
McLaren are going to risk the penalty. They're still attacking each other. McLaren are risking a 5-second penalty. They've elected to keep track position.
We are on it, Max. We know. And we've also seen the moving under braking at 1.
So our opinion is you were ahead at apex, both cars went off track.
Yeah, he also went off, so it was clear.
And Lando, so we've had our 3rd strike track limits, which I know you'll know, so no more track limits, no more.
Did Lando Norris get ahead on the braking zone? Was he forced off the road? Lando Norris has a penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. 3rd on the road, but with a penalty applied, it will be 4th position for Lando Norris. Max Verstappen takes points out of his title rival. The swing goes the other way. Verstappen stays ahead on the timing page. Norris pushed for all he's worth. He missed out by 9/10 of a second.
Great job. Drove like a lion, and you got a podium. Well done, mate.
Well done, mate. You drove hard for that. You drove hard for that. We weren't as competitive as we should have been in the second stint, but you deserve that podium today.
My God, that was a hard race.
Like I say, you drove like a lion. Nice job.
Yeah, I tried everything with the defending. At least that was fun. It's just a bit weird that you can overtake outside the track.
Well, you can't, and the FIA put that right, so there you go.
That's all right, points-wise this weekend, Max. You've done what you needed to do.
I guess I got a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, they gave you 5 seconds just at the end there for leaving the track, gaining an advantage. Not sure why.
Oh yeah, well then I should have just gone back behind him, shouldn't I?
Clearly I didn't give the position back because we thought we were in the right. Clearly we weren't. I still think we were, considering Max went off the track. Normally if you defend your position and you go off the track, you have to give the position up. In that case, I was ahead. I kept my position because he needed to give it back, and that's the way it is. So I think I did the correct thing, but I don't make the rules. Max drove well. It was a fun race between us, good battle, and yeah, he defended well. He did everything he had to do. So we struggled as a team. I didn't do a great job, and yeah, both are not what we need right now. So we'll both try better next time.
I think overall we just did the best we could. We managed it till the end. Some good battles with Lando out there, you know, hard battles but fair, and it definitely was a lot of fun.
It was a great battle between the top 2 in the World Championship, but it was resolved in Max Verstappen's favour. 354 points to his name, extending that advantage over Lando Norris, who's on 297. From the heart of Mexico City, this is Formula One. It's the 20th round of the World Championship in 2024. Our venue is intense, vibrant, and named for the Rodriguez brothers, 2 Mexican heroes of the 1960s. This is their arena.
I've been reviewed. I probably approached things in a pretty similar way, but slight tweaks here and there. Of course, didn't come out on top in the whole battle, so things always improve, and I think Max is probably the best, and I'll probably say quite confidently, is the best in the world in this style of defense and attacking and those kind of things. So I'm going up against the best in the world, and therefore I got to be at his level. At the minute, I would say I'm not quite at the level I need to be at, and his level, which is a shame to say, but it's probably the truth. And at the same time, it's an experience for me to learn and progress and try and do better.
I don't understand why then suddenly now we need to ask and scream for changes in the regulation, you know, when it's been like that forever. I mean, I grew up go-karting, F3, F1, you know that you cannot pass outside of the white line. It's as simple as that.
It's still a good battle. I still really enjoyed everything that we did last weekend. It was still a tough, exciting battle that we had on track. But of course, I want to be the one that comes out on top. I believe I rightfully was, but obviously the penalty in the end changed things around. So things will change a little bit. I'll, of course, change my approach in a slight manner, but I don't need to change everything.
It's Ferrari versus Red Bull versus McLaren.
That sounds like the recipe for a great Grand Prix. 3 different constructors starting at the front. The Drivers' Championship is still being spoken about, but if we're going to keep talking about that next week in Brazil, Lando Norris has to put some points into Max Verstappen today. They start 3rd and 2nd. Ferrari's sandwiching them. Sainz on pole, Leclerc 4th.
Carlos Sainz is waiting for that green flag at the back of the field. The battle towards turn 1 begins right now. We leave the line for the Mexican Grand Prix, and it's a good reaction time for Max Verstappen. He's got the inside line, he's got the momentum, he's surely going to get the lead. And now Lando Norris is going to try and power past Carlos Sainz as well. Verstappen has the inside line and the opportunity. How brave will Carlos Sainz be? An immediate spin into the barriers for the V-carb. Off the road goes Carlos Sainz to maintain the lead, and that will be an immediate intervention. It was hard into the Armco. It was a big moment into the barriers for Yuki Tsunoda. He was the driver involved there, and Carlos Sainz feels the need to give the place back to Max Verstappen, having jumped over the road. But it's Verstappen, then Sainz, then Norris, Leclerc. Hamilton got past Russell.
Fastest lap for Sainz, who's responded then. He's really close.
Is he going to go for the late braking move? He is! That's the lead for Carlos Sainz, and he leaves turn 2 with the lead. Can he keep it by 3? Max Verstappen trying to apply the power. There will be another DRS zone, which will take the Ferrari further away. First opportunity offered up for Carlos Sainz, and he took it with both hands.
Superb driving from Sainz. I said the Ferrari top speed was good, and I think he caught Max Verstappen just unawares. Verstappen had a good lead still. He was 8/10 clear over the line, but Sainz, with the DRS for the first time, the long slipstream and a good top speed, got close, and he's a great driver at that late lunge on the inside. Made it stick.
Lando Norris, can he do what Sainz did before? Has the hint, has the look, no way by. Verstappen not happy that he didn't have the full deployment of the Red Bull when he needed it, and Sainz took that chance.
Verstappen's close out of turn 3. Norris is really close behind Max as well. Just so impressed with Sainz's ability on the brakes. Can Norris do the same?
This is brave from Lando Norris, trying to go around the outside. Max Verstappen barges his rival off the road, and the contentious debate of position between the top 2 drivers in the World Championship continues. From Austin to Mexico City, they collide this time. Verstappen throwing it to the inside. They're both off. Extraordinary. Elbows out, brawling between the 2 of them, and Charles Leclerc takes advantage to go up to second position. How about that? Norris versus Verstappen getting really brutal again.
I was ahead the whole way through the corner.
Understood. We're looking at it now.
This guy is dangerous. I just have to avoid a crash. It's the same as last time, mate.
Yeah, we're on it, mate.
I'll end up in a wall in a minute.
We understand, Lando. 2 separate instances were pushed off twice. Hamilton will have DRS behind.
Yep, he overtook off the track and pushed me off.
Yep, just strap 10, strap 10.
Let's go through it again. Lando Norris going to the outside, moving ahead. Who's ahead at the apex?
It's really tight. Norris is ahead coming into the corner, but Max is good at having the shorter line and releasing the brake at the moment, so they are neck and neck. But let's have a look once again at this part, because now we're on the short burst up towards turn 7. Honestly, that's a bit of a crazy one. To send in a lunge on that corner with no hope of making the exit, it's a hopeless lunge, and it's not fair racing from Verstappen.
It's a 10-second time penalty for Max Verstappen for forcing another driver off the track.
So Max Frimpo, you've been given a 10-second penalty for forcing Lando off track at turn 4. So head down.
10, it's quite impressive.
Another 10-second time penalty for Max Verstappen for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Verstappen with a combined penalty count now at 20 seconds that he'll have to serve at his first stop.
You can't argue with those penalties, particularly the second one. But it doesn't help Norris out at this stage. Norris has still lost the place that he was in second and trying to get to the front by 2 illegal moves from Verstappen that allowed Leclerc through and Max will take 20 seconds of penalty. It's going to really jeopardise him, and he's going to be on a recovery drive, a little bit like his teammate at the moment. 20 seconds for Max right now would drop him just ahead of Perez, but he'll keep going and going and going, and making sure that Norris cannot be released into clear air to go and attack the two Ferraris.
So Max, update. You've been given another 10-second time penalty. That's for leaving this track and gaining an advantage at turn 8.
So, and how about him then? Turn 4? That's fine then? Or that's a silly man?
Verstappen in for what will be a long, long stop.
They cannot touch the car until 20 seconds have elapsed. We've seen mechanics go too earlier this year, and then you have to reserve the penalty. So very, very important. They're being ultra cautious there. This is a long, long wait. Someone will be counting to 20, and then the signal will be given to the crew. There it is. And Verstappen serving 2 penalties, one for wheel banging at turn 4, one for going off the track and gaining an advantage at turn number 8. 71 laps, packed with action in Formula One. Wheel-to-wheel battles, penalties, pass and repass. Drama in the constructors, drama in the drivers, and out front, ahead of it all, above the rest of them, a man who for the first time in his Formula One career is going to win multiple races in a single season. It will be only his 4th win in Formula One. He said pole yesterday was bittersweet because it gave him the feeling that Ferrari might be in a fight for a world championship and he won't be there to use it. That realization ignited a fire today. He knows the road back to the front might be long and windy with Williams, but listen to this. The sight and the sound of this crowd acclaiming their winner. Carlos Sainz comes out of the final corner for the final time. Carlos Sainz wins the Mexico City Grand Prix. A fine way to take a 4th career victory. It will be a 10-point swing in the Drivers' World Championship after Lando Norris finishes in 2nd.
P2, what a mate. Thanks, can we follow the dash, please? Follow the dash.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for a lot more. Was a good race, just yeah, interesting one. Well done, good points everyone. Thank you.
Hold up, we'll have a look at that, particularly that second stint.
I mean, on the medium 12 we had some pace. Really shocking.
Yeah, frustrating race today, Max, but you gave it everything, and I thought the penalties were definitely on the harsher side.
It's not very often we see 2 10-second penalties handed out in such quick succession. Just what's your view on those 2?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter because the penalties are given. So that's also honestly not my biggest problem of the race. My biggest problem was that we just had no pace. Yeah, just struggling a lot on the tires. Yeah, couldn't really attack, and I couldn't follow Ferrari and McLaren.
You know, I always go into the races and I expect good battles and fair battles, and of course, you know, I expect a tough battle with Max. I don't want to complain about it, you know, because I really, this is what I love. I love going into races and knowing like we're going to have a good battle today and he's going to put up a good fight and all of those things. And I look forward to it, but things like today are just a bit too far, in my opinion, and obviously in the stewards' opinions too. And I'll say probably the majority of people's opinions.
And on those moves and those penalties, will you do anything different next time around then, given they've been penalised?
Maybe get a drink in the pit stop. Yeah, I mean the engine was off for 20 seconds, so I had enough time.
I respect Max a lot. I want to race hard against him, but yeah, if I didn't do what I did today and avoid him, I'd probably be out of the race, you know. So it's tough, but I played my cards well. I knew what to expect in many ways, and yeah, points are good for me at the minute, and we'll just keep our heads down.
Great stuff. Thanks, Lando.
Well, sometimes in Formula One, the most complex of sports, it can be about so much. 4 Grand Prix remain, 2 sprint races, and this 2024 season will not relent. Action all the way from lights out to the waving of the checkered flag.